What if I told you that somewhere in Africa, roads are being built not with concrete, not with asphalt, but with garbage old tires? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I also told you these roads are stronger, cheaper, and more eco-friendly than anything engineers have built before? And here's the real twist. This groundbreaking idea isn't coming from New York, Paris, or Tokyo. It's coming from one of the world's poorest nations, Burkina Faso. At the heart of it all stands one man, Ibrahim Traoré, a leader who turned a desperate struggle for survival into projects so bold, so unconventional, that today, scientists and engineers from across the globe are rushing to learn from him. But why tires? Why risk everything on an idea that sounds like madness? And how did a forgotten country suddenly rise to become a symbol of innovation and hope? Stay with me till the very end, because this is not just the story of roads, it's the story of a revolution in silence. Burkina Faso's infrastructure was crumbling, roads washed away by floods, cracked under heat, and left entire villages cut off. Ambulances got stuck in mud, children's school buses broke down, and fire brigades couldn't reach burning homes. In time, out of this chaos came Traoré's radical idea: don't waste old tires, use them. The very tires that poison rivers, choke cities with toxic smoke, and piled up as useless junk. He laid them on the ground in neat rows, poured a special cement mixture on top, and created something the world had never seen before: tire roads. And they worked. Not just as an experiment, these roads became part of a full national network. Experts were stunned. The roads were 40% cheaper, absorbed shocks from floods and even earthquakes, and lasted longer than traditional asphalt. Villages once isolated for hours were now connected to cities in a single trip. For farmers, traders, and families, life was never the same again. But Traoré wasn't just building roads, he was building hope. Thousands of young people found jobs collecting, cleaning, arranging, and building with tires. Suddenly, unemployment was shrinking, and people were part of a new national pride. And then came Traoré's silent masterstroke. By using waste tires instead of imported asphalt, he cut the country's dependence on expensive foreign materials. For years, Burkina Faso's economy bled under international loans and import bills. But with tires, the country turned its trash into treasure. This was no longer just an engineering project. It was an act of quiet rebellion against global economic chains. Soon, delegations from Mali, Niger, Chad, and even Europe arrived to study this model. Environmental groups called it the Eco Road Revolution. But Ibrahim Traoré's vision didn't stop with roads. Farmers had another nightmare: water. Seeds were sown but never grew. Families prayed to the sky for rain, but droughts crushed their hopes year after year. Traoré decided to rewrite destiny itself. He launched artificial canals, a massive network designed to capture rainwater and deliver it to fields all year round. No more waiting for clouds, no more empty harvests. For the first time, farmers would hold water in their own hands. This project promised not just food security, but a new future: wheat, rice, corn, fruits, and vegetables, all grown locally. Burkina Faso was on its way from hunger to export. And then came the most ambitious dream of all: a solar city. Imagine a city with no power poles, no blackouts, no gas, no heavy bills. Every home, school, hospital, and factory producing its own clean energy through rooftop solar panels, buses running without smoke, free internet zones powered by the sun, modern schools teaching technology. From a country once forgotten on the world map, now rising as a global role model for green energy. And once again, the jobs flowed. Solar panels needed to be made, installed, and maintained, all by local talent. Friends, this isn't just the story of roads, canals, or solar panels. It's the story of a leader who refused to wait for aid. A man who trusted his own people and proved that even the poorest nation, with the right vision, can change the entire world. This is a lesson not just for Burkina Faso, but for Africa, the Muslim world, and every nation struggling under the weight of poverty and dependence. Because true revolution doesn't always begin with armies or billions of dollars. Sometimes it begins with a single bold idea and a leader brave enough to try it. So now I asked you, out of all these projects, which one blew your mind the most? The tire roads, the life-giving canals, or the futuristic solar city? Tell us in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it so the world knows that change is possible even from the most unexpected places. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, because more stories of hope and transformation are coming your way. Because sometimes the biggest revolutions come from the places the world least expects.